Gracie, let's get our list going, okay? Let me check the fridge real quick. Okay, looks like we need some lettuce, some sour cream, sandwich pile. Oh, need some milk. Yep. So yeah, let's put on here some sour cream. Oh, yep, need that. Milk. What else did I say? Lettuce? Okay, lettuce. Oh, well, hello there, friends and family. So good to see you again. You caught me in the little old country kitchen making out my grocery list. So yeah, just me and Gracie here. And of course, she didn't alert me to when you all snuck in. Of course, I guess you gave the kitty crew some treats. And pardon my appearance, we've been outside doing a few things too and just came on in. It's a chilly day. And I'm making up my list to go shopping tomorrow. Most likely it's superfoods. But one thing I do before I go, I look at the local area sales papers. And they're not that local. They're about 25 minutes away. And that, depending on which way I want to go. One's 25 minutes to the northeast, and that would be CarMax. They're famous for their meats. And I've taken you there on a video a couple of years ago. And if you'd like to see that video, then hey, I'll put a link to it in the description below this video, and maybe you'll check them out. They're quite special. They're a little bit smaller than Superfoods. And then we'll be checking out the sales papers at Piggly Wiggly. Yep, the pig. Over in Electric, which is 25 minutes from the house to the west. And yeah, I always like to look at their sales papers just to see if it's worth the trip. Of course, it'd be pretty hard for me to drive up to CarMax, pick up a few things on sale, and then leave there, drop that off by the house, and drive 25 miles to the west to pick up some more. There'd be several hours back and forth driving and a whole lot of time just to save some money. But if I was stocking up, which I'm not, I'm living out of that big freezer and my pantry, eating things down. Maybe you are too. But I thought, hey, since you showed up, maybe you want to see what's on sale at a couple of my local groceries too. So if you want to, we'll head on into my desk, to the computer, and I'll show you what's on sale at my local area grocery stores. Here we are at CarMax, the first place I always look at when I'm looking at sales. And I look at the sales at CarMax, and then we'll be looking at Piggly Wiggly, which is over in Electric, to get an idea of what's on sale and compare the prices to what's at Superfoods. Superfoods doesn't put out a sales paper, but they do in-store specials. But anyway, here we are. And at CarMax, they've got the boneless pork chops for $2.99 a pound. The bottom round roast, and that is a boneless round roast, for $4.29 a pound. Pork loins, whole, boneless, $2.19 a pound. Chicken breast, the family pack boneless, for $1.89. Ribeye steaks, woo, $13.99. Still pricey too. But here's something that if I was stocking up, I would really get into, and that's your 73% lean family pack of ground beef for $2.99 a pound. And of course, they got the beef bottom round steaks for $4.99 a pound. And something you might not know, bottom round steak right here for $4.99 is bottom round roast sliced up. You can do it yourself. Then they have their young self-basting frozen Pride of the Farm turkey breast for $1.99 a pound. I've already bought one for my Christmas dinner that we'll be cooking up, me and the kitty crew. And then they got the 40 ounce, which is 2.5 pounds of Wright's bacon for $10.99. And then they got the ultra thin Hillshire Farms sliced luncheon meats for $4.29 a packet. And then Oscar Mayer Lunchables, 2 for $5, in case you got some kids or grandkids stopping by for your Christmas Day festivities. Now, hey, something that's really nice on Christmas Eve is, of course, some crab legs for $12.99 for a 1.5 pound package. Those would be really nice. A little bit out of my price range. Folgers coffee for the 22 to 25 ounce canister is $79.99 a piece. I don't do K-cups, but they're $5.99 for the 12 count. And something I can't believe, maybe you can't either, is Jell-O gelatin for pudding mix, 4 for $5. Remember when that was 25 cents a box, 4 for $1, then it went 3 to $1, 2 for $1. Now look where it's at. The Lucky Leaf pie filling, 2 for $7 for all those holiday pies. Another thing that you might want to stock up on too, because the peanut crop, which is mainly grown in Alabama and Georgia, northern Florida, was dramatically impacted by our drought with about a 50% reduction. And you can bet peanut butter prices are going to go sky high. But they got the 28 ounce creamier crunchy Jif for $4.49. And K-Row syrup, yep, I know, it's a high fructose corn syrup, but it's used in a lot of baking, for $4.99 for the 3 ounce bottle. But they have Mississippi grown sweet potatoes for 59 cents a pound, a 3 pound bag of yellow onions for $1.79. That's a good price. And then look at that celery, fresh California grown for 99 cents a bunch. And another thing that's went sky high, of course, is ice cream. A half gallon of Blue Bell will cost you 2 for $14. Of course, the Coke products, 12 pack or 8 pack bottles, 3 for $15. White Lily flour or their White Lily cornmeal, 2 for $7. That's the 5 pound bag. And then they got their cheeses on sale, the Food Club brand, 6 to 8 ounce shredded cubes or chunks, 5 for $10. And then down here, they got some other things for sale. They got their Kraft barbecue sauce, 2 for $3. Zatarain's Cajun injectors, to fill up all those turkeys and ducks and gooses, with some fine flavor too, for $4.99. And who has a Christmas meal without some French's crisp fried onions for $3.99? The Food Club cranberry sauce is 2 for $3 in the can. Who don't love that stuff? Eagle brand condensed milk, 2 for $5. And for those holiday baking wishes and needs, Duncan Hines cake mix, 4 for $5. Of course, they got the little tubs of frosting, 2 for $3. Campbell soups cost you 4 for $5. Yep, that's $1.25 a can. 32 ounce of Swanson chicken broth, 2 for $4. Of course, I think they got beef too. And then those little 4 ounce foil packs of Idahoan potatoes, for those of you who don't know how to peel, cut up, boil, and mash potatoes, 4 for $5. And then we got the 30 ounce Kraft Real Mayonnaise for $3.99. Kraft salad dressings, the 16 ounce bottles, 2 for $6. That's another thing that's went way on up. And then the 32 ounce of Heinz ketchup, my favorite, for $4.49. 30 ounces of Blue Plate mayonnaise for $2.99. Now that's a steal. And of course, my favorite sodas when I want one is Faygo, 3 for $12. Dole pineapple, that'll cost you 2 cans for $3. A 4 pound bag of Domino sugar, 2 for $6. 2 pound bag of Food Club confectionery sugar, 2 for $5. And then they got their Food Club vegetables assorted for 69 cents a can each. 48 ounces of Crisco cooking oil for $3.99. Baker's chocolate, 2 for $5. As well as the Log House almond bark. But then we got the stovetop stuffing mix in case you don't have a recipe like mine to make Pennsylvania Dutch stuffing that even George Washington ate. That's 2 for $5 for only a 6-ounce box. Imagine that. Pam cooking spray will cost you 2 for $7. Jiffy corn mix you can get 4 for $3. Of course, the Kraft Deluxe mac and cheese 2 for $6. And Lipton Dry soup mix for the 2-pack will cost you 2 for $4. And then they got the Bush's Best peas or beans in the big giant cans, 4 for $5. Nabisco Ritz or graham crackers, 2 for $7. The little 8-ounce Cool Whip topping, 2 for $3. Daisy sour cream, the 16-ounce, 2 for $5. Milo's tea, 3 for $10. That ain't a bad deal if you love Milo's sweet tea. And who doesn't know? Everything's better with Blue Bonnet on it. The 1 pound Blue Bonnet quarters are 2 for $3. Pillsbury Graham biscuits, 8 count, 2 for $6. And then they got picked sweet vegetables, 2 for $4. Those are the best fresh vegetables, frozen that is, that you can find. And then they got open kettle dumplings. Don't know what those are. 2 for $99. And here's another thing that's went sky high. Mrs. Smith's or Edwards frozen pies, $5.99 a piece. And of course, you can get the 16 count bowls or the 48 count Dixie plates, 2 for $7. So you don't got to wash up during your Christmas feast. But that's CarMax. That's their sales paper. And like I say, it's just 25 minutes to the northeast for me here. But there's not much on CarMax that's on my list. There's the celery and the onions and the sour cream. Would that be worth driving all the way up there instead of going to Superfoods? Well, when we go tomorrow, if you're nice and behave in the buggy, I'll take you along and we'll see what Superfoods compares to CarMax. And would it have been worth the trip? Who knows? But tomorrow we'll see. But hey, let's take a look at the pig. Yes, sir, the Piggly Wiggly in Electric, Alabama, which is 25 minutes to the west of me. So here we are at the Piggly Wiggly sales paper. And they're over in Electric, Alabama. Like I said, they're 25 minutes to the west of me. And what they have here, they have the filet mignon. Oh yeah, $10.99 a pound. And boy, wouldn't that make a special Christmas Eve dinner for all of us. And then they have their cooks, hams. The butt portion ham is $1.87 a pound. The shank portion ham is $1.67 a pound. And you might wonder why there's a difference, since actually they're a whole ham cut in half. Well, you actually get more meat to bone ratio in the butt portion, and there's more bone per meat in the shank. I've always wanted to buy one of each, cut them all up and debone them and see if it actually came out cost effective. I don't know. Maybe if I get my freezer rate down once upon a time, I'll do that and show it to you. But they got the USDA inspected fresh whole fryers for $1.89 a pound. Of course, they're showing some ribs and fries with some greens around it here. Don't know what's up with that picture. I think that was a mistake. Then they have the USDA inspected fresh center cut, rib end, and sirloin pork chops. You know, all that's fancy pork chop for $1.98 a pound. But then they got their Cooked Perfect home-style meatballs, the 28-ounce package. Of course, those are frozen too, $5.98. and you can use them to make up some mighty fine appetizers for your Christmas Eve festivities. All varieties of Reese's sides, 20 ounce for $3.49. And then they have the Oscar Mayer bun size meat franks, 1 pound package of 8 franks for $1.75. The Seabass shrimp ring, 11 ounces, $5.79. I used to pick up a couple of these to put on the dining room table along with everything we made for our Christmas Eve snacks and Munchables, you know, when the kids came down. Allen's Italian Original Seasoned Green Beans, the 28 ounce can for $2.20. Allen's makes some mighty fine vegetables, yes they do. Green Giant shoe peg and Mexicorn. I don't buy that, but if you do, 11 to 12 ounce cans will cost you $1.62. And all varieties of Le Sueur green peas, you know, those young, tender, succulent green peas that we all love, the 15 ounce can for $1.49. Now here they got the Duncan Hines cake mix for $1.27 each. Of course, they were cheaper at CarMax by 2 cents a piece. And this is a cost plus 10% at checkout store. And what does that mean? Well, the prices you see are plus 10%. But the way they do it, when you go to the checkout, they ring up everything that you bought, and at the end, they add 10% to it. So bear that in mind. California Navels, 4-pound bag for $4.58. Yellow onions, 3-pound bag for $1.97. That's more than CarMax. And of course there are bunches of fresh celery or $1.68, which also is more higher than was CarMax. And of course another treat for Christmas Day here in the Deep South is fresh jumbo collard greens. $3.49 a bunch. Campbell's cream of mushroom and chicken soup will cost you $1.10 a piece. All varieties. White lily flour, $3.50 for the 5-pound bag, which comes up to 2 for $7 if you didn't figure it out. Swanson chicken broth. Now here's the deal. 84 cents for the 30-ounce carton. Bluebell ice cream for a half a gallon, $5.35. Now that was cheaper than CarMax, and so was the chicken broth too. Kraft Philadelphia cream cheese, the 8-ounce block for $2.83. Borden, all varieties of shredded cheese, $2.33. And then all varieties of Daisy sour cream, the 16-ounce, 2 for $20. Or 2 for $2.20, not 2 for $20. I hope it never gets to that. And then the 8-ounce of Cool Whip for $1.57. So there you have it. And why do I do this? And I'll be looking a little later at Walmart's prices too. I like to get all the prices in my head, and I write them down too, so when I go to Superfoods, I know what to do. And like I told you, if you're all good and you want to, I'll put you all in Alice. We'll run on over to Superfoods tomorrow and jump in the buggy as long as you behave, and we'll pick up a few things. It's not going to be much because, like I said, I'm eating down my stockpiles because these food prices are just slap dumb crazy, and I'm just not buying unless I have to. So I hope you found this information useful. You can compare it to the prices in your local areas and countries too. So let me know in the comments below the video. How do these prices stack up to what you're seeing in your areas? And I'll also put in a link in the description below the video to the 2 videos. One was where we went to CarMax a couple years back, and another one was where we went to the Piggly Wiggly, and elected. So if you want to, and I hope you do, you'll watch those videos and see what they're all about. So hey, until I Gracie, the queen of the house, the kitty crew, Spooky, Speedy, Cleo, sometimes Eclipse, and Fluffy Muffin, too. See y'all on the next episode of Mr. Tom's Neighborhood. Y'all take care. Stay safe. May God bless you all. Would you bless those in your lives? Goodbye for now. Whew, all this talk about food. Even though the prices are sky high, I'm hungry. And it's getting late. We got to get on in and make some supper tonight. Oh, my mind was wandering there while I was thinking. Later all.